Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on live. We are live on Facebook as well as on LinkedIn. So, we have a very exciting topic today to talk about exploring post study work rights and part time work opportunities for international students in Australia. And Australia is a popular destination among Indian students and international students, and it's become very, very popular since few days. Since the announcement came from the government of Australia on the February 22nd that they are increasing the post-study work rights for international students who are studying their bachelor's and master's and doctorate degrees at Australia, as well as a part-time work opportunities for the students who are currently studying and going to study in Australia. So my name is Inthiyaz Bannuru. I am the co-founder and country head at UniXperts. I've been into the international education industry for more than 1.5 decade. This is my 18th year in the international education industry, and I'm a certified peer Australian education counselor as well. So I have enough knowledge to talk about today about study in Australia and what are the new changes and how this is going to benefit the Indian students who are wanting to study overseas are selecting Australia as a study abroad destination. So, without any further delay, we will get into the today's session. And before that, I just would like to highlight one thing. If you have any questions, kindly post it in the comment section. I will be able to see it and I will be able to answer all the questions that you guys have related to study in Australia with the best of my knowledge. And there are certain questions which has been posted by the internet, the students who are looking to study in Australia in different social handles of ours like Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So I will be picking up those questions as well, post explaining the details to you about the post-study work rights and the part-time opportunities, which has been a very popular topic nowadays among the study abroad students and the students who are looking to select Australia as a study abroad destination. Okay. So, what is PSW? What is a post-study work right means for you? Post-study work rights means post-study work rights are there in other countries also like UK, Canada, etc. But why it is very popular and why it is so popular among the students who are looking to study in Australia? PSW means post-study work right. Any student who finishes their higher education in Australia, whether it is bachelor's, master's, or their research PhD programs, they will be allowed to stay back in the country, work for a certain number of years related to their study. Otherwise, also they can stay back on a multiple temporary visa and they can work there. Now, this post-study work right opportunities, which were there for students who finished their bachelor's, the government is to allow to work for 2 years. Now it becomes 4 years. So any student who finishes their bachelor's will be able to stay in Australia for 4 years and they can work. So this is post their studies, not during the study. So during the study they can work for part time. After that they can able to stay for 4 years and they can work there. Any students who are finishing their masters from Australian universities or Australian colleges, if they finishes their masters, they were allowed to stay back in Australia for 3 years. Now it went up to 5 years. So irrespective of the place, irrespective of the university, if you finishes your masters, you will be allowed to stay back for 5 years and work there in Australia. So there are few selected degrees which has been named by Australian government, which we are going to see it in our next discussion. But any students who finishes their research or PhD program, they were allowed to stay back in Australia for 4 years. Now it went up to 6 years. So all these changes will be effective from the 1st of July 2023 onwards. So any students who will be becoming who is completing their graduation or masters post graduation from 1st of July 2023 onwards are eligible for the extension of their post study work rights. What is a part time work opportunity? So the name, as the name says, the part time work opportunity during your studies, any student, they are legally allowed to work in Australia. So you have certain number of hours to go to university, your colleges, and then you will have off peak time also during the week. So during the every fortnight, any international students who are studying in Australia are allowed to work for 40 hours in the past. Now this number of hours has increased up to 48 hours. So any students who are studying in Australia from the 1st of July 2023 onwards, during their study, they can do their part-time work up to 48 hours per fortnight. So Australia doesn't go by week, so they go by fortnight, and there is a logic behind it. And it is a benefit, it's a high benefit for the international students and Indian students too. What is the benefit? Like if you are allowed to work for 48 hours for fortnight, this 48 hours you can schedule in the 15 days, I mean in the 2 weeks, the way that you want to. For example, let's say you have exams or you have some project work or assignment submission coming up next week. You can allow your 48 hours, or you can accumulate all your 48 hours in this week itself, and the next week you can keep yourself free for your studies and other work. In other countries, what happens generally, the part-time work opportunity is by week. And if you are occupied next week or this week due to your studies, assignments, or project work, you will lose out your part-time work opportunity. So ultimately, you lose out your part-time earning as well. But in Australia, because the logic goes by fortnight, so you can make the best use of it. And I no need to tell you, Australia is one of the highest paid part-time per hour. Highest part-time paid country in the world. So any student who are working in Australia, depending upon different kind of jobs that you do, whether it is a 7-Eleven or whether you work in stores like Target, Coles, Myers, etc., the amount that you get per hour is far higher and better than any other country in the world. During your semester break, during your summer break, while you're studying in Australia, your part-time work is not limited to 48 hours for fortnight, so you can work unlimited. But during your studies, you're allowed for 48 hours for fortnight. So this is about the PSW and the post-study work rights of the latest development that has happened in Australia, and how it is going to benefit the Indian students. And this is going to definitely benefit the international students, but Indian students generally we are very focused of our return on investment. So if I'm investing so much on my studies, if I'm selecting Australia as a destination, I'm finishing my masters and all, so what is there for me in return? That is obvious question that I was hearing since my 2006-7 days, when I was since the time that I started my counseling to students who are studying in Australia. So the advantage is this 48 hours of part-time work opportunity for fortnight not only give you additional 8 hours of work for you, where you can earn more, plus the amount of post study work rights, I mean the amount of additional years that has been allowed to you in the post study work right category, you will be having enough time to work there, gain experience, get your good quality of amount back to yourself. And I did a rough calculation. I was talking to my students, and then we were having a discussion post this announcement from the government. The students right now, not quoting, but right now they are able to earn between $30 to $32. Some students are earning an average between $25 to $32 per hour during their part time. Plus this the number of hours, as I told you, during your semester break and summer break, this will go far beyond than, or it become unlimited. So it's up to you how much you can work. Even you can log into the websites like seek.com or payscale.com. It will give you entire working that what kind of jobs are available in the cities of Australia and how much you can expect as a pay. So this will definitely allow you to get your return on investment, and you will be able to gain good experience as well. So see, more of getting a return on investment is not only in a form of money, or you're earning in dollars or something like that. It is about your experience as well. Tomorrow from Australia, if you're looking to go for some other country, or you're coming back to your home country and would like to work here, you have to have certain experience which will back by your studies in the country that you're studying in, will always make your resume very, very strong. So this is the biggest advantage for the students. who are finishing master, because majority of the students from India go and study their masters in Australia, you will be getting at least 5 years of work permit. If it could be able to extend it, you can definitely extend it. There are chances to do that, but minimum 5 years of work experience that you can gain. So before you look for some other country, or if you're looking coming back to your home country, you will have a master's from a Cricos recognized master from Australia plus 5 years of work experience. So it's a very big, very good deal. And this is one of the best things that can happen to Indian students in the current scheme of situation, where the students can get good quality education from world rank universities plus the work experience that they look for. So that is one thing. And the second thing is how do you prepare yourself to study in Australia, and how early you should start your applications to study in Australia. So Australia has majorly three intakes. One starts in February and March, which is just finished right now. Then the second intake starts from between July to August, and the third intake, which we call summer intake, it starts in October November period. So, right, what is the best time to start your applications for July intake? If you ask me that question, I will say now. So you have to start your application right now to ensure you get your admissions on time, you get your visas on time, and you don't face any kind of issues in going forward in terms of delay in getting offer letter or getting rejections, etc. Like that. So the best time is to start your application right now. So please talk to one of the UniXperts consultant, which is nearest to your city. We will be more than happy to help you to process your application. And we do not charge a single rupee from any students who are looking to study in Australia. And UniXperts takes care of their profile assessment, finding out the right university for the student and right course for the students, without any processing and any charges. So please make use of this facility. What do you need to do? Why you need to start early? What do you need to do now? The first thing is, finalizing an university is very, very important, and finalizing the course. So these two things are equally important, which university and which program that you are going to study. As I mentioned in my discussion earlier, there are selected degrees for masters and bachelors where you will be allowed for this additional post-study work rights. If you are not able to get a degree in that particular selected streams, then you will be not allowed for additional post-study work rights. So you have to be very, very careful. We will give you the entire knowledge of that, and we will take care of it so that your application goes to the right program, so that you get the additional benefits of post-study work rights while you're studying, after your studies in Australia. So you need an expert. You need an expert advice in terms of finalizing your application, in terms of finalizing your course, and you can even you need an expert advice to work on your visa processing as well. Okay, so we'll go step by step. The second thing, the scholarships. Why you need to start early? It's because of your scholarships as well. Most of the universities do give you the scholarship along with your offer letter while you get your admission, but there are deadlines for scholarships too. So it's not only the deadlines which will hit you for your application, as well as but for your scholarships also there are deadlines. So you have to be very, very careful, and you have to be in advance applying to the scholarship so that you get the best benefit of the best percentage of the scholarships as well. So that is the second reason why you need to start early. The third thing, as I told you, that you can consult UniXpert, and we have the expertise along with us for study in Australia. We will make you the best selection of your program considering your academic background. So you cannot just say that I want to do this program because this will give me an additional stay back opportunity in Australia, additional post study work rights and opportunity in Australia. But there has to be a logical reasoning behind it. So if I'm a medical graduate, if I've done my MBBS, tomorrow if I go and tell the Australian High Commission I want to become a chef, or I want to do a hospitality management degree, that doesn't sync, right? So there has to be a logical reasoning that you need to provide from your past academic qualification and to the program that you're looking into. So we will help you to find out the suitable programs and the best programs which will suitable to your profile on this particular line. The most important factor is the getting a guaranteed admission. So we assure you in terms of getting your admissions. And as of now, we have a very strong track record that most of our students are having admissions without any questions. Like any students that we counsel with, we will give you the most probable options and most safest option in terms of getting your admission, so that you don't have disappointments going forward. So that is the reason most of our students have admissions, and they don't feel any disappointment at the starting of their process in the student life cycle while they apply to the universities. The other thing is, like, there are students who will say, who have been very very active in their entire academic career. They have participated in most of co-curricular and extracurricular activities, but they don't know how to present that to the university, that how strong their application is. We at UniXperts, our counselors, do that exercise in a very better and a perfect manner, and we will ensure your application is presented to the university in a holistic manner, which covers all the 360-degree areas of your studies, your work, your extracurricular, your co-curricular, or any other things that you guys have done in your during your studies in the past. We will provide the entire set of application in a very presentable and a better manner to the universities. Hence the universities also feel comfortable before they give you the offer letter, that they are giving it to the right candidate. So this is where you need an expert advice. This is where you need an expert skill. That is where experts come into picture, and then we work on it. So these are the things that you have reasons behind why you need to start your application immediately. Please do start your applications for July and August intake with 2023, which is hitting right now, and you be the first in the race to get an offer letter, so that you can start preparing for your visa. There are questions which have come to me from the students who are currently studying right now, who are studying in the final years. They are final years of BCom, BSc, and BTech BE students. They are telling us that we're still in the 4-1. We have not finished our 4-2. We finished our 4-1. I'm sorry, we're still in the 4-2 right now. So we don't have the results of 4-2. Can we still apply to Australian universities, or do we need to wait till April or May to get the result and then apply? My friends, my answer to this question is, you can happily apply to Australian universities without having your 4-2 results or your provisional certificate in hand. Australian universities are very well aware the students' academic year in Australia, in India, is still going on. They haven't finished their bachelor's yet. But with your 4-1 degree, 4-1 certificates, without having your provisional degree, you can definitely go ahead and place your applications in Australian universities, and we will help you to do that. So please don't wait till April, May, or whenever you're finishing your exams, because that is not only delay your admission, it will delay your visas as well. And there is a lot of rush which is going to hit there at Australian universities, and I do not want you to come into that rush and then you face disappointments in the end. So please start your applications right now. Even if you have your internet mark sheets of 4-1, you're still eligible to apply to Australian universities. You can ask UniXperts. We will tell you how to do it. Okay. So you don't need to wait for anything. So post this, there are a lot of okay. Before we move into the visas, I would like to give you a clear update on when I said selected masters and selected bachelors. Degree holders or graduates will be getting the post-study work rights. It is not everybody who's going to get in there. So you have to be very very careful. You have to be very very selective while you're making your application or while you're selecting your program. So if I have to talk about the faculties, the programs that the one that who are studying in here to avail the additional post-study work rights from 1st of July 2023 onwards, the faculties are nursing, information and communication technology. There is an engineering faculty programs, food science and agriculture, pharmacy related degrees, physiotherapy related degrees, medicine programs, as well as few management programs. So these are the faculties which are covered in the skill shortage list of Australia. So Australia has done a proper analysis in 2022, and they came up with a result, and they said we are having skill shortages in this particular areas. So any student who get a qualification related to these studies will be allowed to stay back in Australia and can avail the additional post-study work rights. So when I say communication, information and communication technology, there are a list of programs which are available in this particular faculty who are eligible to get this additional post-study work rights. So which are the programs which comes under ICT, engineering, nursing, etc. Please do come to us to UniXperts.com, or you can visit our offices. Then we will help you to give you the list of this program, or there is a number on the comment section. You can WhatsApp us also. You can give your details that which programs that you're looking at. We will be able to tell you whether the programs are available in that particular skill shortage list or not. Otherwise also, we are very happy to provide you the list of the details depending upon your profile. Okay, so the list is pretty heavy, so I'm not going to read it out, and we will be more than happy to serve you that if you can connect with one of the UniXperts team, and we are very happy to help you on that particular thing. If I have to talk, but I will talk about which universities are there who are offering this program. If I have to talk about nursing, which is very popular among Kerala students and South Indian students, and the interest of nursing is increasing in the north region of India as well. So we have universities like Latrobe, Wollongong, Queensland University of Technology, Federation University, Deakin University, Monash University. Likewise, there are many other universities like Flinders University in Adelaide. They all having nursing program. So you can definitely connect with us, and we can help you to place your application for nursing related degrees. Likewise, for ICT, which is the most popular, which has become the talk of the town among the international students in Australia, information and communication technology. So there are a lot of degrees in and around this faculty, information and communication technology, where the student can study and avail their additional post-study work rights. And there are many universities offering this program. If I have to name it, again, Latrobe is there, Macquarie University is there, University of Wollongong is there, Kaplan Business School, QUT, Queensland University of Technology, Curtin University, Swinburne University of Technology, Deakin University, Federation University. Likewise, many, Monash is there, JCU Brisbane is there. So please do connect with us if you're looking at these particular areas, and find out which program will be suitable for your academic background. We will certainly help you, and we will get you to the right program so that you get the additional post-study work rights. We are best at that, and the UniXpert team will definitely help you to do that. So before we move on to the visa points, I have been asked few questions here. So I'll try to answer the questions, and then I'll move on to the next subject. So Taranjit Kaur has posted a question for masters. Yes, Taranjit, for any students who are finishing masters, they are allowed to work for 5 years in Australia. So you can do a two. The only condition is any student who is studying bachelor, a master's, any other degree, that has to be a minimum duration of 2 years. So any program which is 2 years or above, you will be allowed to avail your post-study work rights. And if that 2 year study is related to the faculty which I have mentioned and the program which UniXperts team is going to assist you, you will be getting the additional post-study work rights. Yes, for sure. This is for master, so there is no need to worry about it. Sir, what are the MBA job opportunities? And this is from Danish Syed, and Danish Syed asked another question also, sir, about the work permit. See, MBA, if you're studying what specialization you're picking up in MBA, that will make the difference. Tomorrow, if you're studying MBA Information Systems or Masters of Management Information Systems, or if you're studying MBA in any other skill that has been mentioned by the Australian government in the skill shortage list, yes, you will be getting the additional 2 years post-study work rights, because it is not only the program that you study, but the kind of qualification occupation also that you can get into. So if your occupation will take you to system engineers or information system analyst or business analyst for that matter, or data analyst, you will be getting your additional post-study work rights. So it's not about MBA, but what specialization you're picking up in MBA, that will matter. So please do connect with UniXperts. We will definitely help you to give you a right choice of program under MBA and which specialization you should pick it up from there. So it's a question from Jisharun. Is the regional area stay back is still available for additional years? There is no change in regional visa. So universities. So the students who are studying in regional universities will still get their benefits. There is no change in the existing rules. So that is one. Okay, there is one more question from Kanika Arora. Please confirm the work permit duration in regional area. It's again, there are semi-regional areas, there are regional areas. So the list of regional areas and the semi-regional areas which the government has announced earlier, it is still intact. So it is same. So the post-study work rights will be more attractive for the students who are getting into regional areas. Like somebody who's picking up Flinders University from Adelaide, they will definitely get their benefit. If somebody who's studying at Federation University, they'll still get their benefits of being studied in regional areas. And the program, if they're picking up from the skill shortage list, then it will make more attractive. I hope I answer your question. There's another topic which I wanted to pick it up here is about the student visas. So student visas, the Australian student visa, everybody think that, sir, why should I go to Australia? The student visa process is too tough, too tedious, or something like that. To be honest, Australia student visa is very, very straightforward, and they're very, very clear what kind of students they want. Since the introduction of SSVF, Streamlined Student Visa Framework, there are a lot of things that has been taken care by the Australian government, the DAC, as well as the Australian universities. So they have defined a very clear-cut structure. If you talk about one particular university, if you're looking at, let's say, Latrobe University to study your master's or your bachelor's, Latrobe University will ask you certain list of documentation and the process to clear their GTE, the clearance of GTE process. You just have to follow that. It is not a very tedious or a risk process. You have to prove yourself that you are a genuine student, you are a genuine temporary entrant, you are GTE cleared students to study in a particular university. That's it. You don't need anything else. What is the steps that to be followed? It is something that you have to be very, very well prepared, and you should be prepared in advance. You cannot get an offer letter from the university and after 1 or 2 months then you go and wake up one day and then you want to apply for your visa. It doesn't work like that. You have to have your preparation very well in advance. If you want to clear your GT interview or GT process with one particular university or high commission, you have to be very well in advance. You should start your preparation right at the time of applying to your university admission. Once you narrow down which university that you're getting into the program, then you have to start your GTA process. That is how we will prepare at UniXperts our students. That is the reason our students are very well in advance in terms of um, getting their GTE clearances pretty much in advance, and then apply their visas well before the course commencement date, so that you don't miss your orientation and the first few weeks of your classes. To start your GTE work, to start your process, when to start, how to do it, which university takes what amount of time, you need to connect with UniXperts. We will help you to finalize in terms of your time frames, like which universities are very, very quick in terms of clearing their GTE process, or which university takes more time, so that you will be prepared backwards. Like you will be prepared in advance that my university is this and this university takes this much of a time, and they check 1 2 3 4 5 etc steps. Let me start work right now. That is how you should be prepared to study in Australia. Okay, so there are a few points that I have highlighted here, that I wanted to highlight here, which will be helpful for you to get your preparation for your visa. The first thing is you should have a strong SOP. There is no physical or a personal interview with Australian High Commission for students who are studying in who wants to study in Australia. So most of your points or most of the things will have to be covered in SOP, your statement of purpose, that why you are a genuine student to come into Australia and complete your studies. So there has to be straightforward points like, who are you, what about yourself, And then you should tell about what was your academic background and what kind of a program you're selecting right now, and what are the career opportunities that you're looking at after your studies. These are the things very important, and you have to include your financial background as well. Who is sponsoring you? What kind of financial strength that you have to study in Australia and to back your studies and your program. And you will not become a problematic or a troublesome student to Australian government or to the university during your studies. So these are the things that they'll see in your SOP. And then financial documentation, as I told you, you should have your the sponsors, whoever is sponsoring you, should have a strong income, annual income, like what income that they have, and it has to have certain documentation to back that claim of having good annual income, plus your financial documentation, whether you're going for a loan, saving bank account, you have you have your amount in form of saving bank account, fixed deposit, etc. Where again UniXperts team will help you to find out what would be the best way to show your finances, and we will guide you what are the acceptable ways to show your finances, so that you don't have any kind of an issue going forward with the university or with the high commission. Plus, you should have your English test, your English proficiency test in the form of IELTS, PT, or TOEFL. So you need to clear the test pretty much in advance, and ensure that you have your things sorted and ready while you apply for your visa. Okay, this leads me to another question. Like, there are students who do ask us that, I don't have IELTS right now, I am preparing, or I have scheduled my PT exam on so and so day, I have my TOEFL exam which I'm still taking the training. Do I need to wait till I get my result to apply to the university? My question is no. Please start applying without even having your English proficiency test results. Most all universities in Australia, for that matter, are having conditional admission process, where if you don't have the entire application ready, which includes your English proficiency test result, you are allowed to make an application, and even you can get your admission also. The only thing is, there will be a condition that you should score so much in particular test. Okay, so don't wait till you get your result. Please go ahead and apply, and you let us know. We will help you to apply to either universities to get your conditional admissions ready without even having your English proficiency test. And then if you have any kind of work experience, you can please add in your visa application. Please do not hide your work experience. If you have your work experience, it is a very good thing to have it. And please put it in a form of, in a presentable manner, to Australian High Commission as well as to the universities. There is another thing which is a very common question while applying to the visas, even for that matter, while applying to the universities. I completed my bachelor's, few years back or some time back. Should I apply to my master's in Australia or not? So this is a major question that most of the Indian students have, because what happened, what happens, most of the students do go get into their post study work, campus placements after they finish their bachelor's in India. So they want to try out, work for some time, gain some work experience, then they look for the masters. So if you have studied your bachelor's way long back, or some time back, and you want to study your masters right now, you can still do that. Nobody will stop you. The only thing is, you should be ready with your documentation in terms of work experience, the supporting employer letters, work experience letter, pay slips, etc. So if you have that, the gap doesn't matter to you. So don't consider your gap as gap, but if you could able to cover it in a proper manner, or if you could able to explain it in a proper manner to the universities and high commission, your admissions are fine and your visas are fine. So no need to worry about it. Okay, so this is one thing. Then I got another question, sir. What sir, job opportunities in Adelaide? Let me show you this thing on the screen. So Danish Sayed is asking, sir, what are sir, job opportunities in Australia? So I'm just framing the question: what are the job opportunities in Australia? In Adelaide, sorry, Adelaide, Australia. If I have to tell you, Danish, Adelaide is the capital city of South Australia. Okay, and the job opportunities are very high, and there are many job opportunities in terms of part-time and full-time for international students and for Indian students in Adelaide. So you no need to worry about it. It's a proper city. I have been to Adelaide a couple of times in my experience. It's a very one of the safest and the finest cities of Australia. there are no issues in job opportunities. If you're a right fit, you will be definitely getting it, so there is no problem on it. And you have universities like Flinders University and Federation University IABIT campus is also there in Adelaide. And there are other partners that we work with there in Adelaide. So please do get in touch with UniXperts. Our team will help you to place an application in the programs or the universities that you're looking at in study in Adelaide schools. There is one more question: how to get scholarship? This is from Vidya. Vidya scholarships are there are different type of scholarships in Australia. If I have to name it, it is merit based, it is need based scholarships. There are early bird scholarships as well. So most 90 percentile of the time, most of the universities will give you the scholarship along with your admission. So some universities will be giving you the scholarship in a different manner, which means you have to apply prior to the deadlines with a separate scholarship application. But in most of the cases, students who are looking for bachelor's or a master's, their scholarships will be considered along with their application to the university. And the Experts team will help you how to do that. And the scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship, will be calculated on the previous studies of the student. So if the student is going, for example, if the student is going for master's, if they have done their bachelor's from India, depending upon their last scores that they have scored in their last studies, depending upon their percentages, depending upon their GPA, the scholarship will be awarded to the students. If you want to know more about how much scholarship will be awarded to what kind of a percentile of the student who studied their bachelor's looking for master's, again, please do get in touch with UniExperts team, and we'll be more than happy to help you on that. And having said that, apart from the regular merit-based VC, academic excellence scholarships, etc., there are early bird scholarships as well. Early bird scholarships means this universities will give you additional scholarship once you are able to apply to the universities in a very early stage, and then you accept the offer letter of the university within certain deadline. Then even if you are not qualified in terms of academically, but because you are an advanced student, you are applying in a very advancedly to the in advance to the university, and then you are joining the university much before their deadlines, you will be awarded an early bird scholarship. So that is the reason I this is again one more opportunity for the students who starts early. So if you start early, so there are chances that you can avail the scholarships, which is called early bird scholarship from Australian universities. There is another question from Venu. How many years of education gap Australia accepted for bachelors and masters? See, there is no certain predefined gap number of years. Like like these many number of years after you can study your masters in Australia, something like that. The gap can be as big as maybe 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. But you should be able to tell the university why you have this gap. While we are after your bachelor's, have you started working with somebody? If you have started working with somebody, please provide you need to provide the relevant documentation, so that you get the admission on time and the visas without any kind of an hesitation. So the gap is not considered as gap, and that gap is, as I told you, as big as like even 8 years also. But you have to prove yourself that why you have this gap and how this gap has come in, and then support it with the relevant documentation. If you have any further doubts on this, please do again connect with UniExperts. We are more than happy to help you on this one. Okay, so there is another question: will universities check backlog count? Yes, definitely. All Australian universities do check backlog count. Okay, backlog means somebody who is having fails in their previous studies. Like if you fail one subject 2 times, then it will become 2 backlog. So even the subject is same, but the number of repetitions that you have taken, though, that will be considered as backlog. So Australian universities do check your backlogs, and they will go by your academic transcripts semester by semester, year by year, to understand your profile and to understand your academic history in a better manner. At UniExperts, because we are dealing with the universities for many years right now, and we have placed thousands of students in Australia, we know how many backlogs will be accepted by which university and what should be the reasoning behind it. Like, if you have more backlogs, there will be genuine reason as well. Like, you might have had some personal emergencies and you did not take the entire semester. Then if you have 5 papers or 6 papers in the semester, it will be considered as 5 backlogs. But if you have genuine reasons to tell the university this is the reason that you had these backlogs for, then that they will definitely consider in a positive and a better manner. Okay, so there is no way that you can hide your backlog, so you have to show your backlogs and the reasoning also. If you're having maybe up to 10 backlogs, some universities will accept 15 to 16 backlogs as well, some accept more as well. So you don't need to worry about your backlogs. Please do consult UniXperts. We will tell you which universities, which programs are suitable for you, and then you can successfully get into Australia. Again, let me highlight one more point here because it's related to backlog. I will add a point of percentages also. If your percentages are lesser than what you think, or if you think the percentages are less or something like that, you don't need to worry about it. The universities do accept depending upon the university that you belong to here in India. If you are a bachelor student, you finish your bachelor's here, which section the university belong to, depend upon that the percentage and academic criteria will be worked. So if you have more number of backlogs also, you don't need to worry about. There are universities which will take you and then you can complete your masters. For that, you again need an expert advice. That is where UniXperts come into picture and help you to get a better program. So I have one more question from Jins. Sir, what is the success rate of Australia student visa? See, it doesn't mean there is no standard or exact percentage of what is a visa success rate that Australia works on. It depends on, like, a kind of profile that you have. It depends on what kind of supporting documentation that you have while you're applying for your student visa at Australia. So Australian government doesn't work, okay, I'll give you these many visas and I'll reject these many visas. It is not like that. It is about the profile of the student. It doesn't then if you have a very proper profile, if you are I gave you a certain list of things right now. If you could able to satisfy all those requirements of the university and the high commission, then your chances of getting your visas is far higher. It is as higher as yes. But if you're not able to satisfy the requirements, if you're not able to upload the documents which is required by the Australian High Commission while you're applying for your visa in your immigration portal, then your chances, though you have everything, but you have not uploaded, you have not shown it to the High Commission, then your chances of getting a visa is next to zero. So it depends on the profile. It doesn't depend on a certain percentage or something. Having said that, again, I would like to highlight, if you are an early student, if you are applying to your visa application certain weeks prior, like 6 8 weeks prior than your course commencement, the chances of you getting a visa will be far higher than the one who are getting in the last, because you're allowing the high commission to work on your profile, check the details and everything, and this will avoid your deferrals also, so that you no need to defer to next intake. So be an early applicant, be an early student to get on to your student visas, and then you can get the things done sorted in a very easy and a better manner. Next question. The questions are keep flowing. I'm very happy to answer all these questions. Question from Sunita: could you give briefing on how studies are going to help for the PR options? See, Sunita, I am not a PR consultant, to be honest. I am an education consultant. But let me give you a perspective that permanent residency in Australia is as that is one motive that most of the students do look out. Like, I want to settle in Australia and I want to get my permanent residency or something. And Australian government never said no to any students. Like, if they are qualified to become a permanent resident to Australia, if they portray the right skill, what Australian government is looking at, then they will definitely get their PR. It is a process. You need to have your score of English. You have to complete your master. There are certain points will be given to each and every category. That's how the students will get a PR. But being an education consultant, I'm not allowed. I'm not authorized to give you a PR advice. But if you are looking for some studies which are mentioned in the skills shortage list, then your chances of getting PR will be better and higher. Okay, I hope I answer your question. There is one more question. The question is from Lalita. If a student is having 50% in bachelor's, can he apply to his master's degree? Yes, depending upon which university he studied his bachelor's from. If he is not directly, again, the beauty of Australia, if some students are not having a required percentage to study direct masters in Australia, the Australian universities do give pathways. So the student can do masters of pre-qualify, we call it pre-masters, pre-qualifying programs, PQP. They can do that program and it can lead to their masters, or they can do a graduate diploma that will lead to their masters. It doesn't mean that they are spending more or they are staying, I mean, they are studying for more years in Australia. Okay, so the duration will be the same, the studies will be the same, the credit units will be the same, but there is a way to do your masters if you have less percentage in your bachelor's. So you can take a pathway approach to do your to complete your master within the stipulated time frame, and get the required points of your, I mean, required years of your post study work rights and everything. So even if the students who are getting into pre-masters or pre-qualifying programs, PQP, etc., if they finishes their masters in the 2 year span of time, if they study for 2 years, they will definitely get their post study work rights. Okay, I hope I answered the question. It's the right question, and thank you so much. Then another question coming from Jenny Vinod. Jenny is asking, double master accepted? Absolutely. If you're doing masters, when you're allowed to do a post study work rights, when you do double masters, yes, you're allowed to get your post study work rights. So any students, the logic here works in this manner. Any students who study for 24 months or above, which is 2 years or above, any bachelor's degree or master's degree, they are allowed for post study work rights. And if they study from a selected program on the occupational list, which we have, which the government has mentioned, which the UniXperts team can help you, they are allowed to get their additional post study work rights. Again, having said that, if you do a double master, it doesn't mean that you are allowed for two post study work right visas. You will be allowed only once, but you can finish your double master in the same 2 years period of time. So another question here: spouse case with child is acceptable or not? Again, my answer to this question is most of the time yes. If you have genuine reasons and your spouse doesn't have any kind of wrong immigration history from Australia or from any other country, where you have a clear profile of yourself and the spouse also have a clear profile of him or herself, yes, the universities do accept spouse profile along with children. So you can apply together, like you will become the main applicant and your spouse and kids will become the dependent. So you are allowed to apply together, and the Australian High Commission on Universities does not have problem as long as the profile is clear. Again, check with us what support documents you require to apply for a spouse visa to study in Australia along with your dependent children. UniXperts team will definitely help you, and even we will help you in terms of providing the list of universities to apply along with your spouse. I mean, to apply as a main applicant and dependent visas. We will help you to shortlist the universities, and we will help you in terms of what documentation also required at the application and visa level if you're applying along with your spouse. Okay, so that's one thing. And then again, a question from Jenny: after Pharma D, can we opt masters in health informatics in Australia? Yes, you can do that. Health informatics is a program which is a mix of health sciences or life sciences along with a bit of IT into it. But when I said IT, you don't do programming or algorithms, etc. in it. It is more of like how you apply your main subjects to IT, or how you apply your health or life sciences skills through a platform of information technology. This is what this program will teach you. You can definitely apply for it. There's no problem, Jenny. There are many universities which are accepting this. Please do consult UniXperts. We are very happy to give you the options of universities and health informatics program listing which you are eligible for. Okay, there's another question from Sharon. Okay, there's a question from Sharon. Will other country visa rejection affect Australian student visa? Most of the times, no. If your visa rejection from other country is very genuine and you know why it has happened, most of the universities will not raise any kind of a concern. Having said that, if you are having a visa cancellation or if you are having any kind of a bad immigration history in any other countries, that may impact your student visa and your chances of getting an offer letter from the universities of Australia. But if it is a generic visa rejection, like let's say you apply for US, US visa is rejected, now you want to do your masters in Australia, you're welcome to do that. There's no problem. But you need to disclose that, or you should explain it to the Australian universities that you have done this earlier. Unfortunately, your visa is rejected, and then you are getting into Australia to do your masters, and this is your background, and this is what you have done, and this is what you're looking at. There is no problem. So the impact of other visa rejections, other country visa rejection while applying to Australian student application, student visa, or to the university for studies further, will not have any kind of an impact. Okay, you please talk to one of the UniXperts team. We will certainly help you how to do that, or how to explain it to the universities in a better manner to understand it. Apart from that, as I told you earlier, there are questions which we have received from most of the students on our social handle. So I'll quickly answer these questions so that you get a better understanding of it. And I have deleted the repeated questions, so I'm not going to repeat the answers, or I'm not going to repeat the same questions and again and again. So I'll be very, very specific on this and will be very quick. So the first question is, can I study in Australia without giving an English proficiency test such as IELTS or PTE? Very difficult, my friend. If you want to study in Australia, it is always recommended. It is always better to have IELTS or PTE or TOEFL as an English proficiency test to comply with the university requirements as well as the Australian High Commission student visa requirements. I told you earlier also, to become a genuine temporary entrant and to become a genuine student to study in Australia, your English proficiency test results are very, very important. So please do have your English proficiency test. It might not be required while you are applying to the universities, but while you pay your fees, while you accept your offer letter to study in Australia, while you apply for your student visa, yes, your English proficiency test is required. If somebody tells you you can study in Australia without English proficiency test, they are bluffing you. Okay, so please make a note of it. Any additional tests required to avail post-study work rights? My answer is no. There are no any specific or additional tests required to avail your post-study work rights. You need to be a student who finished their masters or bachelors or their research PhD degrees, which is for minimum of 2 years or 24 months duration. Okay. So far there are no additional tests, and I don't think so any additional tests are required going forward also. So you are safe. What if I study in regional areas? Can I get more post-study work rights? I answered this question already. If you're studying in regional area, it will make you more attractive, undoubtedly. But for that matter, if I have to give you a reference, somebody is studying in Melbourne, Brisbane, or Sydney, doing a 2 years master's, getting a 5 years post-study work right. It's a deal of 7 years visa in Australia. That is absolutely great, and that is absolutely beyond something anybody can expect. Okay, if you're studying in regional area, yes, you get more as well. Top courses to study to avail post-study work rights is not top courses. They are selected courses which are mentioned by the Australian government and High Commission. They call it as a skill shortage programs, which has been mentioned under the skill shortage qualifications by the Australian High Commission. We will definitely help you to list it out. If you would have asked me a question whether your program is there in skill shortage or not, I would have loved to answer it. That is a quick thing. But the programs are many in terms of bachelor's, master's, etc. So please consult UniXperts team. We will definitely help you whether your program that you're looking at is under the skill shortage or not, or which are the programs that you should study, to avail the additional post-study work rights as well. So we will certainly help you on that. How do I select specialization to avail higher post-study work rights? Again, the question is similar to the line. If your question is specific to MBA or any program related to business faculty, we will be more than happy to help you which specialization you should select to avail the additional post-study work, right? Please do consult UniXperts team. We are happy to do that. Will it impact if my university is in the city like Melbourne, Brisbane, or Sydney? No, as I answered earlier, if you're studying in Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, Gold Coast, Perth, Adelaide, whichever is the city you are studying in, if you are studying a skill shortage qualification or program in Australia, you will be able to get your additional post study work rights. So there is no problem on that particular side. So irrespective of where you studying, which city you are studying, it depends on which program you're studying or which occupation you will get after your program. That does matter. Why Australia is so popular among Indian students? There are many reasons for Australia being very popular among Indian students. So there are many that I have told you during my session today. Australia is one of the safest country. Australia will give you more post-study work right years to stay back. Australia will give you more comfortable in terms of part-time work opportunities for you, where you can study and work during your studies, and you can work for more in your you can work unlimited during your semester break and summer breaks. Plus, the biggest advantage is if you study in Australia, all Australian programs are CRICOS recognized. So tomorrow, when you go to US or UK or coming back to India, your degrees are recognized. You no need to take any additional test to prove that you studied in Australia or something like that. So all your programs the students who studying in Australia are recognized by CRICOS. Again, if I have to tell you, Australia does not have huge number of universities. There are very limited number of universities, 38 government universities plus few private universities are there. All these universities are under the ESOS Act for international students. They follow the entire CRICOS guidelines and the guidelines of Australian government and High Commission and the Department of Education and Workforce Relation. That is the reason you don't hear or you don't see or you did not heard you did not hear in the past also that Australian universities are closed down or they don't know what to do with the students or something, because everything, all the interests of international students are covered or taken care by the Australian government as well as the ESOS Act. So that is one of the beauty of it. Plus, it's a very standardized education system that Australian universities and the Australian government has. You can do, if you have done your bachelor's of 3 years, like you have done 10th plus 12th plus 3 years degrees like BCom, BSc, BA or something, you can still go to masters. You don't need a 16 years of education to do masters in Australia. Plus, after your bachelor's, you can directly get into your master's. You don't need to get into a PG diploma or something like that. So there are many advantages. The list is huge. Why Australia is very popular among Indian students or in international or among the international students. So these are the right reason why you should select to study in Australia, and you should select UniXperts to make it more right and more attractive to make your application successful and your visa successful to study in Australia. So the UniXperts team will definitely help you, to get a successful admission, as well as we will help you to ensure that you comply all the rules of Australian visa, which is mentioned by the universities and the Australian High Commission. We are trained for that. I hope I answered that question. There's one more question, and this would be probably our last question. Sharon is asking if a student has been abroad and has not completed his education there, can he apply for Australian universities? My answer is it depends, and yes, also, because if the student has not completed his studies in any other country, let's say they're going to Canada, they did not complete their PG diploma or any other program, they want to apply to Australia, you have to give a reason why he did not able to or she did not able to complete her studies while they are there in that country. What is the reason behind it? If the reasons are genuine, if the reasons are if there are right reasons for this thing, then the Australian universities will definitely consider it. If they have done time pass there, they have not done anything to prove that, to put their efforts to study their programs while they are in the other country. They were simply hanging and doing a part-time work and not being a serious student to complete their studies. No universities will offer them an admission. And even if the university offer them an admission, the High Commission will say, why should they give you a visa when you already proved that you are not a right student to a particular country? Again, if the reasons are genuine, let's say some personal emergencies are there, or the person not able to settle himself because of the climatical conditions or because of any other issues, while they went to that particular country, they can give that reasoning back to the universities. They'll be more than happy to consider and allow him to study in Australia, or giving one more opportunity to finish his studies. So I hope I answer your question. So these are the important points related to post-study work opportunities, increase in post-study work opportunities for the students who are studying in Australia from 1st of July 2023 onwards, and there is an increase in part-time work opportunities also. This will lead lot of, I mean, Australia is an attractive destination. The rush that the students, that whatever that we are seeing, whatever our partner universities are seeing nowadays, is huge. All our admission days, Australia admission days, which we have recently finished in different cities where we operate, from Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Vijayawada, Vizag, Kochi, everywhere, there's a lot of attraction for Australia as a study abroad destination. This is your opportunity, being an Indian student. If you would like to be an international student to Australia, avail the additional post-study work rights, avail the additional hours of part-time work opportunities. This is your opportunity. Please make use of this opportunity. This is the best time to study in Australia, and you need a right partner, and you need a correct partner to ensure you be successful in this journey. That is where UniXperts come into picture. Please do connect with your UniXperts team nearest to your city. We are there in Ahmedabad, in Hyderabad, Vijayawada, Vizag, Kochi, Kottayam, Amritsar, Gurgaon, and we are further expanding as well. So please do connect with us. We will be your right partner to ensure that your study in Australia dream comes true, and we will ensure you get into the right university, right program at the very right time. Okay. If you have more questions, you can still continue to post it on our WhatsApp, on our social handles. We will come back to you at the earliest with a right and suitable answer. Plus, as I was telling you, what is the right time to start for your July session, July August intake of 2023 to study in Australia? My answer is now. You have to start now making your applications to study in Australia, to ensure you get the best advantage of being an early applicant. You're still in the final year, doesn't matter. If you're still in the 4-2, you have not finished your 4-2, or the third year of your bachelor's, doesn't matter. Please do apply right now itself, avail your admissions, and be early in the cycle, before the entire rush hits you and hit you in a bad manner. Okay. So I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for joining us today and being with me for the entire more than 1 hour session of expert talks. We will be more than happy. If you have any further questions, please do post us. And I wish you all the very best, and thank you so very much. Thank you.